Okay, are we ready to start our project? So today we're making these fringe earrings. They're a lot of fun. This is the shorter version, the peridot color. We also offer these in the long version as well. Today I'm going to show you stitching the longer version, which have these really fun, really long bugles here. For this project, we are going to have three different colors of seed beads and 2 different things of bugles. If you're doing the short version, you only need the one size of bugle for the whole thing. We have some fire line here. I'm working with the crystal color in the 10 pound, and then I have a size 10 needle as well. If you purchase the kits, you will get some fire line and needles in it, as well as enough beads to make 1 pair of earrings. All right, so this is a brick stitch. We're gonna start by adding a stop bead. It doesn't matter which color of seed bead you use, but you're gonna add 1 little seed bead. You're gonna pull it all the way down the length of your thread till you're about 6 inches from the tail. And then we're gonna go, so there's the tail end here. We're gonna go back through the seed bead. So we're making basically a loop around the seed bead, if that makes sense. You can see here, there's a loop. And that's gonna just create like a stop so that our beads don't want to slide down. So you can see that this kind of bead kind of holds right there. And you can take it out easily enough when you're finished. All right, so with this pattern, you're gonna actually start here in the middle with these bugles. And you have 9 across. What you're gonna do to start the brick stitch though is you're going to add 2 bugles. We have 2, you can see. And you're gonna slide those down to that stop bead that you added earlier. You're gonna fold the bugles over in half like this, and you're gonna come back up the bottom of this bugle that's by your stop bead. So you can see like this right here. So this is the rest of the thread here, and we're going through the beads like so. You're gonna pull that all the way through. You can see we're gonna create like this little section like this. Now what you're gonna do to get ready to add the next bead is you need to go back down through this bugle here, like that, and pull the thread all the way through to start adding your next bead. Once you have it like that, we're gonna pick up 1 bugle this time, and we are going to thread it all the way down to the bottom. Oops. Thread it all the way down here. We're gonna fold it up so it sits along the side of these other 2 that we added, and go back down through what is now the middle bugle and pull that all the way through. So you can see it's creating this little ladder here. And then we're gonna go back through up through the last bugle that we added so that we're in position to add our next bead, like so. All right, there you go. Now we're gonna add another bugle, and we're gonna continue in this manner until we've added a total of 9 bugles, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, 9 bugles. Until we have a total of 9 bugles. And that's gonna be our center section right there. Make sure you periodically kind of pull it tight to make sure everything is staying nice and tight together. Have 6 beads. So add the 7th. We're gonna add the 8th. And then 1 more, it will be 9, and we'll have our section across the top there. Alrighty, so once you have your section of 9 bugles that are going to create that center piece for your earrings, we're going to start stitching this top section. And that is also going to be brick stitch. So what we're going to do is you're going to choose which one of your colors is going to be your main color and which is going to be the middle color and the center color. So for this one, I'm going to actually do the silver again as this little center color. I am going to add the turquoise as this middle color and the purple as this outer color. So for the first row, you have 2 purples, then you're going to have a turquoise and a silver. So we're going to start the brick stitch. You're going to pick up 2, just like we did with the bugles. You're going to have 2 for the first one. And if you can see at the end of here, the bugles at the ends, they have little threads connecting them all. You're going to go through this second, underneath this second thread, if you can see that. You're going to have 2 seed beads, and you're going to go underneath that second thread. You're going to pull your thread all the way through, and your beads are going to sit like that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go back up through just that second seed bead and pull it all the way through. All right, from here on out, we're going to just add 1 seed bead at a time. So now we have the purple, we're going to add 1 turquoise bead. Again, going underneath that thread between the bugles, pulling that all the way through, and then going up back through from the bottom of the seed bead up through the top. Okay. And then when we get to the middle, we have 2 silver seed beads. So we're going to just add 1 at a time, going through that thread bridge between the 2 bugles, pulling that tight, coming back up through the other one, add 1 more. There you go. And then we're going to add a turquoise one and then 2 more purple ones, adding 1 bead at a time. Now these earrings kind of taper as they go up, so I'll show you how we're going to add the next row as soon as I get down to the end here. Okay, so now I have my first row of seed beads. Now I'm going to add my next row, just trying to make sure everything's nice and snug and tight here. So our next row, as you can see, it tapers down, and we're going to have 2 of our main color. So when you start every row, you always have to add 2. So I have 2 seed beads, and you are going to skip that first thread section above the seed beads, and you're going to go through the second one, the one that's between the purple and the turquoise. Okay, and you're going to pull that all the way through, and you're going to make sure that they sit side by side, if you can see that. And then I'm going to come back up through this purple one like so, and then I'm going to add 1 turquoise, and then, so like I said, the first part of the new row, you add 2. After that, you're only adding 1. Okay. And now again, I've gotten to the middle section, and I'm going to add 1 silver bead. And up through that silver bead. I'm going to add 1 turquoise. And then I'm going to add 2 purples, adding 1 purple at a time until I get to the end. Once I get to the end of the row, I'm just going to repeat what I've done so far, where you slowly taper by skipping the, oops, I need one seed bead there. And 1 more purple, and we're on to the next row. So there we have our row of bugles and we have 2 rows of seed beads. And now to add the third one, again, we're coming up through here. We're gonna add 2 beads to start the next row. We're gonna add 2 purples. And again, you're gonna skip the first thread, first section that's between the first 2 purples, and you're gonna do a purple and a turquoise. See where my needle is going through right there? And that's creating that gentle taper. Okay. So I'm going to continue on in that manner, following the pattern. You're going to have a PDF instructions as well on how many beads are for each row. And then when we get to the top, we're going to add our little loop, and then I'll show you how to add the fringe. Okay, so we've created the taper for our earrings. It should look like this at this point. Now we need to create the little loop that's here at the top. So the loop is made up of 6 seed beads. So if you're coming out of the top of your beading like so, you're going to add 6 seed beads to your needle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops, did I get 6? Yes. Okay. So we're going to string it all the way down here like this, and then you're going to go through that bead. Going to go through that seed bead right here. All right, and what you're going to do is you're going to actually go down diagonally down the side here and go through all of your seed beads that are on that outer row. All right, and you should come out right above that bugle. See, it's coming down diagonally through all these outer ones. You're going to pull it all the way through, and that creates your loop. So now what you're going to do is you're going to go through that bugle as well. You can see that right through that bugle. And you're going to pull that all the way down. So now we're going to create our first fringe arm. So this short little arm right here. So that requires 2 of one color, and then you have 1 of a different color, 1 of another color, and then you continue on that pattern. So you have to decide at this point what color you want to be the main color of your fringe. Do you want it to be mostly purple, which would be this darker green color, mostly turquoise? What do you want for your earrings? I'm going to go with mostly purple with little touches of turquoise, and then obviously the big long bugles at the bottom are going to be silver. So I'm going to add 2 purples, 1, 2, 1 turquoise, 1 silver, another turquoise, 2 more purples. You can see that. There's my pattern there. Then I'm going to add 1 long bugle, and then I'm going to add a couple little beads at the bottom of here too. On this pair, I've alternated. See, with the light, the dark, the light, the dark. And you can decide if you want to alternate or have them all the same. So we're going to add that there like this. And then I am going to do, for this pair, I'm actually going to do where I do a purple, a turquoise, and another purple. Like that. And I'm going to pull that all the way down to the bottom here. If you wanted to make them even longer, you could add a couple beads like this and then add the little 3 to make the loop. If you only add the 3 like this, you're going to skip all those 3 seed beads you added and go straight through the big bugle and all the seed beads at the top of that big long bugle. So you can see here those 3, I did not go through those 3, and I just went through everything else again. And I'm going to hold it and pull it through all the way tight to create my little arm here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back up through that turquoise bugle that's in the center right here. I'm going to go through that, pull that all the way through. Make sure you don't get tangled up in your little fringe leg there. And then you're going to go down through the next bugle. You can see that. There you go. All right, and then we're going to do the next fringe arm. So the next fringe arm is to create that again, create that taper of them getting longer, being longest in the bottom. This next arm is going to have 4 of your main color, and then you go have 2 of that other color with a silver in the center, and then 4 more and your bugle. So I'm going to continue, and I'm going to add 4 purples. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to add a turquoise. Oops, just flung it across the room. A turquoise, a silver, a turquoise, and 4 more purples. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a really long bugle. Or if you're doing the short pattern, it would be another one of the short bugles. As you can see on this one, it has the same short bugles here as it does at the bottom. All right, so once you have that, you're going to pull all those down to the bottom. And then you need to add the 3 for the bottom, which again, I'm doing 1 purple, 1 turquoise, and 1 more purple. And then I'm going to go through that long bugle and all of those seed beads above that long silver bugle. And you don't have to go through them all at once. If it's difficult for you to go through them all in one big pass, you could go through some of them and then go through the rest. All right. Then I'm going to go back up that bugle that I came out of for this fringe tail. You can see there, right there. Again, make sure your tails don't get wrapped around any of your little fringy legs. All right, pull it tight. And then I'm going to go down the next bugle here. Don't know why this keeps going out of focus as soon as I take my finger away. All right. So I'm going to pull that through. Boop. All right, so I'm ready to set up to do my next fringe leg, which again, to continue our taper, this one we are going to have 6. We're going to have 6 of your main color, and then you're going to do that little section right there, 6 more in your bugle. So I'm going to pick up 6 purples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 turquoise, 1 silver, 1 turquoise, and then 6 more purples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then I'm going to add 1 really long seed bead too. And then I'm going to add my little bottom section, which is 1 purple and 1 turquoise. The great thing about this pattern is you can alter the colors and, you know, which, like this one, which you have more purple or more turquoise, depending on what you want your finished piece to look. And it looks so much different depending on what you choose. All right. Then I'm going to skip those 3 seed beads and I'm going to come up through that long bugle. So my tail's getting kind of long here. So I'm just going to go through the bugle. And then I'm going to go through all the seed beads. And come up underneath that turquoise bugle through this middle section here. Oh, see, it's trying to wrap around that leg. Make sure your threads don't grab onto anything else. And then I'm going to go back up through that 3rd turquoise bugle. Maybe, maybe not. There you go. Nope, he's trying to get wrapped around that leg. Stay where you're supposed to go. All right, pull it through. And then we're going to go down this 4th one. And there you go. All right, we're all set up to add our next leg, which our next leg is going to have 8 of our main color. I'm going to pull out a little bit more of this purple. Your kit will include enough seed beads to do whatever color wave. If you want the main color to be purple or the main color to be the turquoise, it'll include enough seed beads for you to make that decision. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oops, didn't need 9, did I? Needed 8, I think. 4, 8. Yep, 8. Okay, we're gonna take one off. Boop. I feel like with that count in Sesame Street. 1, 2, 3. All right, so I've got my purple. I'm gonna add my turquoise, my silver, my turquoise, and then 8 more of the purple. 1, 2, 3. Oop. I don't know what's going on there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to add our really long bugle. Hope you can see a pattern emerging now. You add your beads, you can see it's gradually making the tails, the little fringy arms longer and longer. And then since we have 9 bugles across, you're going to have 9 fringe arms. So once you get to the 5th one, that's going to be your longest. And then what you're going to do is you're going to slowly start tapering down to shorter, you know, we're doing the reverse where you keep making them shorter till you get to the other side. All right. If you have your instructions in front of you, the longest one is going to have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The longest one's going to have 10 purple on either side of the little turquoise section. So I'm going to continue adding the fringe, and then I'm going to show you how to finish off the earrings. Okay, so once you've added all the little fringy legs on your earring here, we need to tie off our thread. So what I'm going to go do is go through this bugle here at the end, which is the one that's above my last little leg here. Pull it through, and I'm also going to go diagonally up all these little seed beads here on the side and kind of pull them all together. If I can get my little needle through there. All right, so I went through all those little beads there. And then all I'm gonna do is weave my thread through the beadwork up here to make sure that it's not gonna come undone. My tail is not gonna be able to pull out. So all you need to do is worry about which beads, it doesn't matter which ones, you just wanna follow the paths of the thread that's already going through it. Like you don't wanna make a new thread path. So just weaving through the beads. I'm gonna go through this bugle. Oops. Kind of go up this other bugle, weaving my tails through. So once I have a short tail that I can't really weave through anymore, I'm gonna take a pair of scissors and I'm gonna cut off that thread tail. All right, so then all that we're left with is the tail from where we started that has that stop bead on it. So you're gonna pull the stop bead off by loosening the thread loop that is around the bead. Can be a little tricky. Then once you have it under that thread loop, you should be able to pull it off of your tail. So I've taken the little stop bead off. And now I'm going to weave this tail in through the beads as well and cut off any excess. And then we will have your first earring. Look at that. So you're going to do 2. You're going to do the second one just like you did the first one. And then you'll have your pair of earrings. You can see there's the long version. Here is the short version. Like I said, we are offering them in 2 different lengths. So it'll either have these long ones, or if you pick the short version of the purple one, you would have these little turquoise bugles on the bottom, like the green one has the same color both places. Well, that's all there is to it. I hope you enjoyed this little online class and are going to come out with a fabulous new pair of earrings, or maybe make 6 or however many you want. Try a bunch of different color waves. There, like I said, even if you switch it up where I use mostly purple and you just use the turquoise as the accent, if you switched it so it was mostly turquoise with just the purple accent, it would change the look of the earring so much. Thank you for joining me today on this class. Don't worry, be crafty. Bye-bye.